Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivardhari Jaya Girivardhari Jaya Girivardhari Jaya Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Hare Rama, Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Oh Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Gopal Govindara Madhuta. Gopal Govindara Madhuta. Giridhari Gopinath Madana Moha. Giridhari Gopinath Madana Moha. Hare Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan. Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan. Giridhari Gopinath Madana Moha. Giridhari Gopinath Madana Moha. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Bolo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gaura Hori Bol, Hori Bol, Hori Bol, Hori Bol. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivajagacharya Ashtottara Satasri Srimad. His Divine Grace Abhay Charanaravindra Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki. Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki. Srila Prabhupada ki, Prabhupada Anuga ki, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande, all glories assembled devotees, all glories assembled devotees, all glories assembled devotees, all glories of glories to Shri Shri Guru and Guranga, glories to Shri Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatiruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Chapter Canto 1, Chapter 8, text. Where is the text? Text 28. Prayers of Queen Kunti, Canto 1, Chapter 8. Manye tvam kalameshanam anadhi nidhanam vibhum samam charantam sarvatra bhutanam yanmitah kalihi. Please repeat. Manye tvam kalam ishanam Anadhi nidhanam vibhum samam charantam sarvatra bhutanam yanmitah kalihi. Manye tvam kalameshanam Anadhi nidhanam vibhum samam charantam sarvatra bhutanam yanmitah kalihi. Manye, I consider, Tvam, your Lordship, Kalam, the eternal time, Ishanam, the Supreme Lord, Anadi Nidhanam, without beginning and end. Vibhum, all pervading. Samam, equally merciful. Charantam, distributing. Sarvatra, everywhere. Bhutanam, of the living beings. Yantmitaha, by intercourse. Kalihi, dissension. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. My Lord, I consider your Lordship to be eternal time, the supreme controller, without beginning and end, the all-pervasive one. In distributing your mercy, you are equal to everyone. The dissensions between living beings are due to social intercourse. Purport. Kunti Devi knew that Krishna was neither her nephew nor an ordinary family member of her paternal house. She knew perfectly well that Krishna is the primeval Lord who lives in everyone's heart as the Supersoul Paramatma. Another name of the Paramatma feature of the Lord is Kala, or eternal time. Eternal time is the witness of all our actions, good or bad, and thus resultant reactions are destined by Him. It is no use saying that we do not know why and for what we are suffering. We may forget the misdeed for which we may suffer at this present moment, but we must remember that Paramatma is our constant companion and therefore He knows everything past, present and future. And because the Paramatma feature of Lord Krishna destines all actions and reactions, He is the supreme controller also. Without His sanction, not a blade of grass can move. The living beings are given as much freedom as they deserve, and misuse of the freedom is the cause of suffering. The devotees of the Lord do not misuse their freedom, and therefore they are the good sons of the Lord. Others who misuse freedom are put into miseries destined by the eternal Kala. The Kala offers the conditioned souls both happiness and miseries. It is all predestined by eternal time. As we have miseries uncalled for, so we may have happiness also without being asked, for they are all predestined by Kala. No one is therefore either an enemy or friend of the Lord. Everyone is suffering and enjoying the result of his own destiny. This destiny is made by the living beings in the course of social intercourse. Everyone here wants to lord it over the material nature. Thus everyone creates his own destiny under the supervision of the Supreme Lord. He is all-pervading and therefore He can see everyone's activities. Because the Lord has no beginning or end, He is known as the eternal time, Kala. Om Tat Sat. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guraho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitamatan Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sagitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jayasi Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gauravakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Kunti Devi, we are reading her prayers, is expressing a reasonable understanding, saying that actually you are not partial, If at all there seems some partiality, it is because of the way people mix with each other in this world. It's because of Bhutanam yen mitah kali. ஆங்கிலம் புரியாதவங்க அங்கே உட்காந்துக்கலாம், அங்கே வந்து தமிழில் சொல்லி கொடுக்குறாங்க. Anybody else, if you have anybody is around you who wants to hear in Tamil, can take that English. So what Krishna is saying that God is not really partial, and people only think that you are not equally distributing your mercy to everyone. It's a very important statement. Equality, equality, equality. But actually nothing is equal in this material world. Right? Nothing is equal in this material world. And they're fighting against it and trying to make it equal. It is so artificial. Inequality is not artificial, but you are trying to make it equal is most artificial. That's what is artificial. Why don't you accept naturally equality? As spirit souls, they are all equal. Materially, they cannot be made equal. You see, the understanding of this modern world and their clamor for equality is all based on material equality, which can never be equal. There are birds, there are animals, there are human beings, there are women, there are men, there are children, there are tall people, short people, rich people, poor people. All this is not because of economy or the management or this thing. It is meant to be like that. It's meant to be like that. Material diversity should not be homogenized and made into one thing for everybody. And there is no thrill in this world. Everybody will definitely go to Mars then. They'll have a lot of people get the hell out of here. Communism and all this equality is so artificial. But if you actually understand, we are equal spiritually, then you understand that that is true. It is true. We are actually equal. Where it really matters, everybody is equal. Where it does not matter, why do you worry about it? People are treated equally or not. Well, they will not be treated equally materially in this world. They are not even born equal. Who is in charge of all these things? Who is doing these things? This inequality is what everybody is thinking inside. How dare you be unequal? Make everybody equal. This is very artificial. So, very nicely Kunti Devi is saying here, Bhutanam yan mitakali. Due to society and the way it is, inequality will be there. Not your fault. Why? It's the karma of the people. Different people come with different shape and size. And there are different types of people with different views, everybody is accommodated in this world equally by you. No, one person better, no. What each person is bringing as a destiny, as an architect of his own karma, that only he is getting. And you are not involved in that. Rest is because of society and mixing and social intercourse. Social intercourse means I have a relationship with you. We meet each other, we have a relationship. And slowly our karma also develops because each of us do things for ourselves. We do good to you, you do good to me. I get punya, you get punya. And then I do something wrong to you. You also do something wrong to me. And in this way, because of social intercourse, this karma develops. We only are affected by people whom we know. I'm not affected by somebody in Nigeria. I don't know. But people who actually become instruments of our karma are people whom we have had association with. In this lifetime or in previous lifetime. Somewhere we have had association. They must have been your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your uncle, your grandfather, somebody. And now they'll be your neighbor. But when you look at him, you'll feel something about this fellow. It's because of familiarity from the past. you'll see that there's connections. This world is a place where the same people move around you because they become instruments of your karma. Bhutanam yanmithakali. So sometimes they are not born as relatives because the karma that they have to give you is not so heavy. Those who are born as relatives are people who are going to give you nice karma because you'll become very attached to them. Only if you become very attached to them, you can become very nicely punished. Because all punishment is about attachment only. Only if you become attached can you be in suffering. What is suffering? Suffering means being denied sense gratification. No. For you, no. Everybody is enjoying. What about me? For you alone, no. No, I won't. Then only you will suffer. You watch everybody else enjoying and you alone, no. Then only there is suffering. Right? Why for me, no? Because you did like this in the past. Some adjustment can we do now for this thing? No. You must suffer. Suffering means denial of gratification to you. Denial of recognition that you are able to gratify. Everything is based on what people recognize for you. All sense gratification is based on what people think is sense gratification and what people value. According to that, it's all very relative. And that is denied to you. But if you become self-realized, you'll say, oh, what is that? I don't mind. You become detached. When you become detached, karma cannot take effect on you. This is the whole trick. This is the whole trick why Bhagavad Gita is telling us to become, Krishna is telling you become detached. The best shortcut to beat karma is to become actually detached. When you become actually detached, although it is happening to you, it cannot affect you. The real pain is because of attachment. Because of attachment. And if you become detached because of getting attached to Krishna, you will see that although something is happening, it is not affecting you. Okay? Sometimes a child, is wanting to beat the mother. Want to beat you. So, okay, hit. The mother will show the face and the child will hit. Why you did like this? You are happy? Okay. Mother is not at all attached to you hitting me and I am feeling pain and it is very bad, you are insulting me, nothing. So there is no effect on the mother. She is willing to do it if you are feeling happy, if you do it, okay, go ahead, do it. Because she's got no, this is total detachment and so far the son also is thinking, nothing is happening to you. That is a source of worry to me. Something should happen to you. Only when you are attached it will happen to you. Only when attachment is the best way to punish you. Others also know that when people want to give you pain, they will always deal with the things that you are very attached to. Best way of giving you pain is where you have invested your attachment. So that is why close relatives are people whom you put all your currency of emotion and faith and happiness, everything you invest in them. And then on that basis, you will be controlled. This is how the material world works. So what has Krishna got to do with it? Is the question here. You are only doing all these things. You are getting attached, you like this, you're getting to that karma, this thing, that thing, this thing. Krishna is a neutral witness. Krishna is, as Paramatma, a neutral witness. So, she's saying that all these things are happening, fights between people and anger and expression of hatred and all this is because of social intercourse. It's got nothing to do with you. You are equal to everybody. You are equal to everybody. Karma and all is as per your previous actions and everything. Facilities for everybody is given the same. How you utilize the facility, that differs. Prabhupada is explaining in the purport that how you use your freedom makes all the difference. What am I doing with the freedom given to me within the situation I am in? How I am utilizing my time, my facility and everything to become Krishna conscious? Or am I using it for enjoying recklessly and creating more karmic balance for myself? That is the distinction. If you're a person who is educated in Krishna consciousness, you have read Bhagavad Gita, you have understood Bhagavatam, and you become wise in life also by personal experience, then you know how to live life. Did you live life intelligently, carefully? That is what is wanted. That is real education. So Bhagavad Gita says, Pandita Samadarshana. Just like Krishna is seeing everybody equally, the learned man, Pandit, he also sees everybody equally. Because he sees in terms of spirit. Everybody is equally benedicted. So all problems in this world are caused by human beings and their choices and their actions. That is how things become crazy. And it is not to be blamed on God. Not to be blamed on God. Very beautifully, I remember reading this in the last portion of the next shloka. When the Lord descends on this material world by His all-merciful energy, He plays like a human being, and therefore it appears that the Lord is partial to His devotees only. But is it not a fact? Despite such apparent manifestation of partiality, His mercy is equally distributed. In the battlefield of Kurukshetra, all persons who died in the fight before the presence of the Lord got salvation without the necessary qualification, because death before the presence of the Lord purifies the passing soul from the effects of all sins, and therefore the dying man gets a place somewhere in the transcendental abode. Somehow or other, if someone puts himself open in the sun's rays, he is sure to get the requisite benefit both by heat and by ultraviolet rays. Therefore, the conclusion is that the Lord is never partial. It is wrong for the people in general to think of Him as partial. Prabhupada is saying everybody in the battlefield got transcendental benefit because Krishna was present physically. Under Him, they passed away. So they all got transcendental benefit. So similarly, Krishna's mercy is falling on everybody. It is how you receive it. How you receive it. Prabhupada gave example of rain falls in the sea or on the river. Rain falls on the rock. Rain falls on the land. On the land, when it falls, it becomes fertile and nice crops come out. When it falls on the rock, it just dries up in the sun. When it falls on the water, it just gets absorbed by the water. Different ways of receiving. According to that, you get benefit. The land receives it and reproduces crops. How you receive Krishna's mercy? With faith, with enthusiasm, with desire to serve Krishna. All these things will make it different. Reception of mercy of the Lord. If you constantly be looking at things materially, you will be very negative. And you will keep saying and thinking and feeling negatively. But people who are Krishna conscious, they always see positively how Krishna is acting in various ways to benefit us. And because of that, they are always very enthusiastic. They see Krishna's hand everywhere. Anytime anything happens, they can see Krishna is indicating to me like that. You see, Prabhupada constantly took this indication. He's very sensitive because of his Krishna consciousness to Krishna is giving him information. Paramatma directing him. You see, when he was printing the BTG 2-page, one day going to the printer, one cow came and banged him and he fell into the ditch. Yeah, it's okay, the old man, he just got up, dusted himself, went to this thing. Then when he came back again around the same place, another man said, why are you printing in paper? People will use it afterwards, throw it, and then they'll pack some karla in it and eat it. Why are you doing like that? You produce book, will be permanently there. Suddenly Prabhupada said, This is Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur coming and talking to me. He could immediately understand. Don't do one paper, do full book. He started translating the Bhagavatam. There only. He recognized Krishna's indication to him. So Krishna is constantly giving indication to everybody. Some people receive it, some people don't receive it. They're too blunt. They're too materialistic to listen to the voice of the Lord. That's all. But Krishna is treating all his children equally, giving everybody opportunity. Some are receiving it, some are not receiving it. Some are receiving it nicely and some are not receiving it. That's all it is. Like we are preaching to everybody, some people take it up, some people don't take it up. And they give all sorts of reasons and excuses. They'll give all sorts of reasons and excuses. They are unable to take it up. Some people instantly take it up. I'll immediately do this. And they start doing immediately. And they become receptors. So it is how we receive Krishna's mercy. How we receive Vaishnava's mercy. Are we interested? Are we enthusiastic? Do we think that this is valuable or not? According to that, we will benefit. So when devotees are performing sadhana nicely, attending Mangalarati, chanting Hare Krishna, associating properly, reading Prabhupada's books nicely, they will be fresh to receive mercy. They can immediately make out and they'll be very grateful to Krishna. Even if Krishna gives them some form of mercy which is not always very materially very nice. Mercy comes in various ways. Mercy does not come only in Prabhupada in a quote we were reading for the Bhakti Vaidya session. I was seeing that Prabhupada is saying how my Guru Maharaj was very merciful to me by shaking me out of my Grahastha life and asking me to take sannyas. He is recollecting later that because of him only, this happened to me. Otherwise, I was not at all interested in doing these things. I was fully absorbed in my business, in my family and everything. But it is my Guru Maharaj who actually shook me out of this and put me into this eternal service. How wonderful. At that time, I never appreciated it. It's totally different. Totally different. Appreciation of the mercy also requires Krishna consciousness. Lottery ticket kadachide, adnala romba merciful. Krishna is very nice to me. I got so much wealth. I got everything happened nicely. My sense gratification went on very nicely. Krishna, thank you very much. It may not be Krishna who has given it to you. It is your karma and you are nicely involved in Maya. In one sense, at least you are thinking of Krishna. It is good. It is good. But actually, when Krishna really shakes you up so that you will depend on Krishna, that is real mercy. That you have no other choice but to depend on Krishna. Then it is Krishna's mercy. It is brought out very nicely in that story of the Avanti Brahmana. In the 11th canto, Krishna is telling the story to Uddhava about the Avanti Brahmana who was a very stingy person. And he has got a big amount of money, but never gave to his wife, his children. They all said, now you got money, you want to buy this and this. He said, not allowed. We are Brahmins, cannot spend money like that. To keep the money carefully. Spend, okay. What to do, my dear children? Your father is like this. He's a Kanjus Marwadi. What I can say? He does not want to give maki juice. He doesn't want to give you any money, nothing. What I can do? I want to give you that. I want to help you. Like that it happened. One fine day somebody stole all the money. And then they said, now what? At least you could have given to us. We would have enjoyed. So he also felt very bad. He also started feeling, neither did I enjoy, nor did I allow my family members to enjoy. And now it is completely gone from me. What is this? He started thinking very deeply. Then in the house they said, whether you stay at home or you don't stay at home, no difference. Get out. Children started saying all sorts of things. What a father, useless fellow. So he became very deeply meditative. What have I done? A very intelligent person. What a stupid thing I have done. Why did I do this? He started thinking very deeply. He renounced his house. Better I go from here. And then as he went, he got more problems and more problems. People started saying, this is that fellow who didn't give anything to the family. Put some garbage on him. He taken sannyas, it seems. And they dumped garbage on him, the ladies from the house. Then the boys and all were told, that fellow, he's a real false sannyasi. So the boys went and took off his kamandalu, took off his stick and threw it. And they were laughing at him. When he had taken bhiksha and he was sitting and trying to eat, they passed urine on that. And they laughed. So you can imagine what shake-up he must have had in his life. He left his house and he came and all these things happened to him. Horrible things happened to him. No peace anywhere. So he very intelligently concluded, it's Krishna who's taken my money away. It's Krishna who's giving me this treatment so that I'll become detached. I can see it. And he became very happy. He became very happy in that situation. Yenanito dashametam nirvedhas chatmanah plava. He wants me to push me onto the boat of renunciation so that I climb and go away back to him. For that he is forcing me. He is not allowing anywhere for me to settle down again. Nowhere he is allowing me to settle down. See, wonderful. He became very happy in that situation. Seeing the hand of the Lord. And Krishna tells Uddhava that this intelligent Brahmana achieved it. Because he understood. So it is not that mercy always will come in the form of lottery ticket and nice things happening at home and your eyes are all intoxicated with love and affection for your family members. What a nice time I'm having. It's all by the blessing of the Lord that I am forgetting Him so much and completely involved in family affairs. And I like my this, I like my that, I like my this. It is only, you have to be taken high. Then only the drop will be long. In material life, it's always like that. You successful means something is going to happen to you. Just watch out. You're being taken high by Maya so that you can be dropped from there. You'll fall down. Then it'll be a solid shot. Then only my gosh. And then Krishna will tell you, I told you. So this material world is designed like that. It's designed to make you realize the reality. And it is ruthless. Prabhupada said material nature is ruthless. Because anyway everything is illusion. The suffering is illusion, your enjoyment is also illusion, so it doesn't matter, it's not real. So if you suffer inside, the suffering is also one type of illusion. For material nature, everything, reality is known very well. So it does not matter, get a few slaps, it doesn't matter. You may be screaming, it doesn't matter, because anyway it's illusion. So from the illusion side, it's very painful. From the side of illusion, it is very, but for Krishna and all that, so it will become all right. You will learn very soon. As soon as you learn, it will become all right. So, you are in the school, you are studying. Teacher will sometimes give you this thing, one knock on the head, and somebody will trip you and something will happen to you. Slowly you will learn. So those are all steps that you are taking. It's not very important. But the important thing is to receive the mercy of the Lord. Are you receiving, whether it is coming in a materially bad way or a materially good way? Are you receiving? That is important to know. So sometimes people who are going through difficulties, they receive faster, accumulate faster and go back faster. People who have very good karma, they take very long time. They'll be laughing stupidly somewhere. enjoying material life, dying, coming back again. They do lot of punya and they'll come back to enjoy the punya again. Again they will forget. Again they will be grinning stupidly and continuing to stay here. Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Mananam. Everybody here will, make great things about them and speak greatly. Then they will die and come back again because they've done so much punya. Again they will live nicely. Again they will, their pictures will be everywhere. Next lifetime also you can come and see picture which happened to you too. That same bust you can see. Once upon a time it is me. And you can continue to Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam. Actually it is stupid. Nicely stupid. Why? You are being cheated. You are being cheated of the reality. But the person who suffers, he quickly cannot take up the suffering and he just quickly surrenders to Krishna and goes back. It's accelerated, faster. So most of the interpretations in this world is diametrically opposite to what is good for you. The way people explain things is not correct. But Kunti Devi is giving correct explanation. This is all happening not because of you, because it will happen like that only. Bhutanam yanmitali. Supposed to be like that. I know you are not partial. It is how it is received. It is their problem. You are not partial. So a person who understands Krishna is transcendent. A person who understands who Krishna is, he will not bother about all these things happening to him. He will continue to do his devotional service. That is why Prabhupada gets 2 heart attacks. Even though he gets 2 heart attacks in the ship, he continues with his devotional service. He doesn't connect this with Krishna at all. He doesn't connect this with Krishna at all. He just goes ahead, I must continue to do. And he becomes successful. After all these things that are so negative, in the material world, people will immediately turn around and go and look at the Jatagam and do one special pariharam somewhere and they'll do all these type of things and wait in suspense like that. Life is very different for them. But for Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, it is, okay, chalo, 2 heart attack ho gaya. Let us see what we can do with the remaining body. And he's going and serving. He's just going ahead. I am never going to say, I am finished. He never say, I am eternal. I can always serve Krishna. Even if I have 1 finger with that, I will do something for Krishna. If everything else is dead, I can move only 1 finger, I will do that. I will serve Krishna with that. That's a type of die-hard devotee. But you can see that even though he is so old and opportunities are very less, from inside that he comes out successful in devotional life. Why? That is because he has received the mercy of Krishna beautifully. He knows it's happening by Krishna's mercy only. If you leave it to me, if I live according to my Jatagam and all that, this thing, I'll never be able to do. But he has full understanding that it's Krishna who's engineering the whole thing. He can do anything he wants. My full hope, and it is his business I am doing. Definitely something will happen. Right? It happens. He goes alone and chants in Tompkins Square Park. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. The chanting of the holy name is powerful. I have faith in it. He goes and chants. And this movement starts from there. Chanting in Tompkins Square Park. Alone. Old man. 70 years old. Beating a small drum. In the Western country. In America. Who's going to bother? But you're wrong. Everybody took notice of it. And they started dancing with him. And then slowly the movement started from there. You see, the spirit of the person who can see Krishna's action, can see the mercy of the Lord in every small thing he's seeing. And he's expanding that. So positive people means people who depend on Krishna. You can never, devotee is a person who is most positive. Just like this Avanti Brahmana also. He realized Krishna, if he wants to do something, he will do it. It's doing for my good only. And he went back to Godhead. He understood Krishna is doing this to me. He understood Krishna is doing this to me. So many times we don't understand properly. That is, you don't have the mercy. You need mercy to be able to understand Krishna is the cause. And that's what is the meaning of a devotee's mercy. He'll come in your life and say, watch out, it's Krishna who's doing to you. I remember first time when I was this thing, I was simply eating all the sweets, all the Mahaprasadam like nothing. The milk sweet, the jalebi, this thing, eating. In my life, I had never eaten sweet. I never used to like sweet. But after joining the movement, it's Mahaprasadam. So much of sweets you people eat. And slowly I said, what to do? I also eat. I also became an eater of sweet. Then after many months of eating sweet, all of a sudden I started getting boils everywhere. And the devotee told me, because you're eating sweet. I said, no, it's Mahaprasadam. It is Mahaprasadam, but it is sweet. You're getting boils. How can you get boils by eating Mahaprasadam? I said. Then he said, see, like this only you'll get. What do you mean, how can you get? You're getting it. You're getting it. Because you're eating so many sweets. They gave me this. It's not meant for you to eat. Distribute it, he said. He said, it's not meant for you to eat. You have to distribute it. First time I understood, distribute the sweet. Good idea. But the fact is, I was getting a reaction to eating sweets in a very materialistic way. Eating it. Not even thinking this was Adam. Sometime Krishna said, okay, eat. Nicely eat. Afterwards, don't eat too much. Without consciousness of me, you cannot keep eating. No, you have to become conscious of me. Then I'll allow you to eat. That's all. We got boils. And then after that, I became very careful. Then somebody told me, no, you eat neem leaf regularly, you can eat how much of sweet you want. So I ended eating neem leaf in the morning. And the rest of the day eating sweet. Again, something else happened. Wherever there is Krishna unconsciousness, even inside your spiritual practice, you'll get it. You'll get it. Krishna wants you to constantly remember him and never forget him. He will give you all the sweet in the world. But the point is, you should not be Krishna unconscious. Should not be unconscious. Even in misery or while eating sweet, which is very nice, if you lose Krishna consciousness, the result will be something else. So the world is so designed that you should become conscious of the Lord. That is why when we see devotees who are very rich, materially, Janmaishwarya Shutashibi, like Yudhishthira, like, Draupadi, very beautiful, very good family, 5 powerful husbands and whatnot. They remain very humble to Krishna. It's actually very difficult to be a devotee in that situation. But in that difficult situation also you are devotee. The other extreme, you have everything materialistically, this thing, and you're still devotee. You have nothing, tvam akinchana gochara, still you are devotee. These two people are good examples. It does not matter whether I have or I don't have, I'll be devotee. It is not dependent on that. This is the meaning of devotional service. Don't blame Krishna for, he has, I don't have. It is because of this, because of that. Okay, Krishna won't do anything, I'll go to an astrologer. I'll do pariharam for some demigod. I don't mind spending 1 crore rupees for this. I'll do that, I'll do this. Somehow I will get it. You will never get it, actually. You will never get it. Especially if you're a devotee, you will learn a very tough lesson. Sometimes if you're not so much of a devotee, then your karma will function. And you will get to think that, see, I did like this, I did this parihara, I did that, it has happened. I have faith in the demigod, I have faith in that. And this way they'll build up their faith in some particular type of deity. Yo yam tanum bhaktaha shabdayat chutum ichchati. Krishna is telling, from your heart I'm sitting there, if you like some deity, then I'll make it pakka for you. So that you can have material life. He's also making that arrangement indirectly. But the fact that some people have Krishna means definitely it is Krishna's mercy. Whether it comes through misery or comes through material happiness, the fact that somebody has got Krishna consciousness, he is definitely a recipient of the mercy of the Lord. That should be appreciated. So when Prabhupada went to the rest of the world and he gave everybody Krishna consciousness and they took it up, he told them that they have become very fortunate. And the reason for fortunate is me. I gave you fortune. You made it very clear. Actually, you should be rotting. I came here and I introduced chanting of the holy name, gave you Krishna, gave you Prasadam, association, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavat, and a new life to you. I brought good fortune for you. So all good fortune comes from association with devotees. With devotees who are pure in their intent and simply want to serve Krishna. Such devotees association, even a small devotee sweeping the floor and has got simple surrender to the Lord, he will be able to influence your consciousness very much. Simply by his simple association, we can boost our consciousness. So we should recognize bhakti. We should recognize where it is available. That itself is a mercy. Being sensitive to Krishna consciousness. You can see Kunti Devi is very sensitive. She can immediately spot it. Like I said, Prabhupada can immediately spot Bhakti Thakur is giving me instruction. This is mercy. Otherwise you will not be able to see it like that. Normally. It is difficult to see it like that. Our mind is constantly absorbed in matter. It's very difficult for us to see, like that Brahmana saw. Kunti Devi here is seeing it correctly. And she's telling Krishna, all this is illusion. Right? You are impartial. You give yourself equally to everybody. It is how they receive you. That is the problem. So learning to receive Krishna's mercy is very, very important. You should not take it lightly. You should learn how to receive Krishna's mercy. You should learn how to recognize Krishna's mercy. You should learn to be grateful to Krishna, grateful to devotees, grateful to your Guru, grateful to the Acharya, because they are all trying to make you aware of Krishna. They are all trying, that's all they want. They don't want any other thing from you. If at all you do something, it is as a service. So throughout the Mahabharata, throughout the Bhagavat, we can see instances of Krishna's mercy constantly everywhere. Like, did not Krishna go and tell Karna, don't have to be with the Kauravas, with Duryodhana, he's a demon. You're actually the brother of the Pandavas. And I am with the Pandavas. Why don't you? He went out of his way to tell this to Karna. But unfortunate for Karna, he didn't accept Krishna's words. He said, no, I have promised. My promise to Karna is greater than your instruction to me. How unfortunate. See, he was very unfortunate. But he was Dana, Virya, Shurya, Karna. But he was the most unfortunate. You will see he suffered like nothing throughout. Because he was not able to receive the mercy of Krishna. Krishna went and put his hands on his shoulder and said, you're a Pandava. You just turn around. I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead telling you. He said, no, I have to keep up my word. For him, moral, ethical principles become more important than Krishna's word. That's what happened. He was not able to judge properly. He lost judgment. And he went and that's why Krishna told him, shoot this fellow when he's lifting the wheel. He has no understanding. I went and told him, come, I want to give you mercy. Personally, I'm telling you. He deserves to be shot. Shoot him. Arjuna shot him. Arjuna, don't do this while I'm lifting the wheel. Krishna said, this is exactly the time you should do, because he values this too much. This is exactly for such people you do when you are immorally only you should do for him. Let him learn. What is really moral? Listening to my words is moral. Right? If you don't learn that, you should be shot. Because what does it matter? Just shooting the body only. To teach Karna a lesson, you can shoot his body. Shot. He died. With his morality, he died. What's the use? What's the use? Right? But Uttara comes to Krishna. The Brahmastra has been directed to my womb. I may die, but my child should not die. I know nobody else but you. You must save me. I know anybody else but you. My husband is not there, Abhimanyu is not there. I know the whole clan of the whole Kauravas is resting in me, in my womb, and they are trying to destroy it. You only can do something. If not for you, God. Totally dependent on Krishna. Instantly Krishna said, don't worry. You don't have to worry at all. And he entered her womb and took care of it. It's the right opposite. Why will not Krishna come to you if you just agree and recognize Krishna's mercy? The big mistake is not to recognize Krishna's mercy and suffer, then blame Krishna for it. So who is to blame for Karna's problem? It's Karna's decision. But he had a very good opportunity. He's a Pandava by birth. He has everything wonderful. He could have got up and seized it, including Krishna's mercy. But he was in the dark side. What a life. Just due to wrong choices. He led a horrible life. Sometimes we disrespect Krishna's mercy. We don't recognize it. Then whom can you blame? Whom can you blame? You can blame only yourself. That is what is Kunti Devi saying. So that is why we need good counsel. What to do now in situation. Only devotees can tell you what to do correctly because they are inspired by Krishna. If you take the wrong advice, you go to some astrologer for taking advice, they'll give you advice like Karna. No, it is not correct to do it. The Jatakam is very bad. No, don't do this devotional service. Don't. Somebody has been advised. இப்போ டொனேஷன் கொடுக்காதீங்க, இது வந்து ரொம்ப தப்பான காலம். முழுமுதல் கடவுள் பகவானுக்கு கொடுக்குற டொனேஷன் இது தப்பு, அதுக்கு காலமே கிடையாது. For doing service to Krishna, you have to check the horoscope or what. You don't understand what it is. And some astrologer is deciding whether you should serve or not, and you strictly listen to him. And then you come to the temple and then you tell the devotees, but my astrologer said like this. But Krishna is telling this in the Bhagavad Gita. But what to do with the astrologer is telling this. It's just that you want to pay more importance. It's a karna moment of your life. Nobody can do anything to you. Nobody can do anything to you. That's all. But the difference is that Avanti Brahmana, what he did is, no, I'm going to listen to Krishna. No, it's very difficult. They're passing urine on your foot. They did not. It makes you feel this is correct. And because a sense of like and dislike. What you like to do, you're comfortable with doing, could be the worst thing for you. What your mind is telling, I don't like this, could be the best thing for you to do spiritually. That's why you need counsel of a right person who can think correctly. I think the Kshatriyas had Brahmanas as their advisor. Brahmanas control your senses, control your mind, not attached to wealth, name, fame, all that. They give choice. Whether you like me or not, this is it. That is why the kings they'll ask boldly, what do you say? And they'll boldly answer. Whether you like it or not, this is the right thing to do. And they will agree. I don't like to do this, but I think it is correct to do it because you are saying so. Brahminical counsels means these people don't have any attachment, any stake in the matter. They are neutral people who know, very well educated. And they don't think, king, therefore I must satisfy you. No. I'll tell you the truth. Now you can take a decision. How you want to do it. This is the truth. Vidura was constantly giving advice like that to them. For his son Duryodhana and others. Never allowed him to take the good advice of Vidura. You'll see constantly Vidura is very determined to give mercy to Dhritarashtra. But he's fielding it all the time. Yeah, correct. What you say is correct, but. He'll keep telling his brother, what you say is correct, but I will listen to my son. And he kept doing that until finally, after he lost the war, Vidura thought this is the best time to make him understand. He came back all the way and gave one whopping advice. He treated him like nothing. He said, no, you're a dog. You're living in the Pandava source. You're a dog. You're eating the food that they're throwing at you. You have no shame. You plan to kill all of them. And you do, and you're sitting in their house and you have no shame. You're not even a human being. Now you use power. Nothing you have. Now is the best time to instruct you. Use force. And Dhritarashtra quit the home. Listen to his brother finally. Finally listen to his brother. Then the brother was happy. It worked. It has worked. Because he left home long back itself. After watching the way Duryodhana spoke to him, he said, this is a very good indication I should leave from here and fully focus on Krishna. He immediately left. I have nothing to do with you. I am just giving good advice. If you don't like it and if you think I am some idiot that does not, thank you very much for saying this. I need to go. Left. But he came back to take his brother also. And took his brother also. Good advice coming by Krishna's mercy. You must heed to it. It's not that we always listen to good advice. That's the problem. That's why we are here in the material world. We have not heard Krishna's advice. Otherwise we won't be here. We are persons who listen to our own advice. Or somebody who is very close to my thinking. His advice I like to hear. Right? So, Kunti Devi's statement you should understand nicely what she's telling. She's telling out of experience. Telling out of great experience. So we should be hankering for getting good advice, good counsel. Especially if it is in keeping with Guru, Shastra and Sadhu, we should accept it, whether your mind likes it or not. It's good for you. It's good for you. Om Tat Sat. Jai Shri Prabhupada Ki. Any comment or question? Yeah. Because you can't hold it. You don't have value for it. First, value has to be created for it. In you. You don't have value yet. You may not value it. You must value it and start asking for it. Then it's given. Initially, little bit concessions are there. Afterwards, it's value based. So the Bhagavatam, Vidura is telling Yudhishthira that Krishna will give mukti easily, but bhakti he will give very carefully. Mukti he will give very easily, but bhakti he will give very carefully. Because it is so precious a commodity, you should know how to hold it. You should know how to hold it together. You have to develop value for it, then only it will be given to you. As sadhaka, that's what we are trying. We are trying to get value for bhakti. We are still learning slowly to value devotion. We tend to value knowledge more. We tend to value karma more. Subtle it is. Everybody's disease it is. But that's the whole point. So when you learn that beyond karma and jnana and yoga is bhakti, and I value it, then Krishna will offer himself to you. Why Krishna is feeling very safe with Yashoda in the form of a child? Because bhakti is in safe hands, in Yashoda's hands. It's completely, will never misuse it. Because when you become a devotee, you can control Krishna through devotion. Bhakti can control Krishna. That is why Krishna is coming as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What is that thing more powerful than me? He's coming to savor bhakti. This is what Radharani is doing. She is controlling me because of devotion. Not with the desire to control. But Krishna becomes submissive to devotion himself. So such a commodity, how I can give you without you knowing the value for it? It will be in the wrong hands. But even then, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is taken a great magnanimous attitude towards it. Only small condition is laid. You chant without offense. I'll instantly give this to you. He is not afraid, materially afraid. It is just that he doesn't give it because you don't know how to use it. That's all. He's not afraid of anything in this world. Why will Krishna be afraid? Krishna is afraid of Yashoda. Yad bibeti swayam bhayam. Kunti Devi is telling, how is it that you are becoming afraid of Yashoda? This is very samam vimohayati. How can I understand this? And Krishna is becoming afraid of Yashoda. Not because Yashoda is scaring him. Not because Yashoda is scaring him. Because he is subservient to Yashoda's bhakti. As explained by Acharyas. So bhakti is such a, a situation where Krishna becomes subordinate to his devotee who possesses bhakti. So he will give bhakti carefully only. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come and open and give to everybody. If they just chant, to give it. So we have to know that we have got a great opportunity and use it. That is why I said, appreciating Lord Chaitanya's mercy, if you do that, the Chaitanya Charitamrita said, Daya karoho vichar kohile chitte pabe chamatkar. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Daya karoho vichar. Krishna Chaitanya's mercy, please deliberate and think about it, what it is. Because if you think about it and really understand it, you will become enlightened. What is the Supreme Personality Godhead actually doing in a Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Although Kunti Devi is saying you are not at all partial, he is excessively merciful. It is more than just all these other things. Yeah. So it's a great argument to say that there is no question of partiality for Krishna when he becomes Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Where is the question of partiality? It is only question of excessive mercy without any, this thing is giving to everybody the holy name. Where is he partial? Yeah. Nobody said don't take action. Taking action on something that has happened to you, you need to do it. If your hand is fractured, you can say, Abdi Ergotum, it's all Krishna's mercy. That is foolishness. You have to go and get it repaired. And that will make you very thoughtful. If something happens to you, you have to take action because you are living in the material world, you are a conditioned soul. But why it happened? It may be because of past life's karma, or it may be because of something else. That by Krishna's mercy you will get to know. You don't have to speculate. By Krishna's mercy you will get to know. If you are not a devotee, you have to sit and speculate and draw up a probability chart. Maybe this, and the 24% this, all that, and finally forget the whole thing. Because you will never be able to tell exactly. But a devotee can exactly tell, this is Krishna's mercy. That's it, finished. So something happens to you, you should do what is necessary to be done. Don't be artificial. But at the same time, depend on Krishna. Yeah. Why did you conclude that there was no opportunity? How do you know? No, but people are worse now than they were before. In Kali Yuga, even there is opportunity, they don't take it. In Dwapara Yuga, they were definitely far more civilized. So they didn't need it. In spite of these type of things, they know. There are people who know. It's not that everybody was like Duryodhana. Yeah, so they know the opportunity, they are educated, they are cultured properly, they can recognize Krishna. And all these people in the battlefield went back to God, and Prabhupada is saying in the pulpit, simply by the presence of Krishna. Many of them fighting were the Yadavas, because he gave the army to the Kauravas. No? No, that is a blanket statement you are making. It is not like that. There is always opportunities and there are always people performing Bhakti Yoga and going back to Godhead. Even in the most demoniac status of life, where demoniac king is ruling, there are always pockets of people doing the right thing. Who said no? The population is something that expands and contracts according to the person who is leading. But eternal dharma is always present, and there are people who know about it and practice it always. May not be fully everybody doing it at that point of time, because the leadership is like that. The people who are leading the people, they are of a different type. It's not that now, although Lord Chaitanya's period is there all over the world, everybody is doing 100%. It's also not true. Bulk of the people in the world don't practice Krishna consciousness. What percentage are you? Hare Krishna devotees, how many are there? Out of the 7.8 billion population in the world, how many Hare Krishna devotees are there? Practically speaking, nobody is practicing actually. What you are saying is true of now itself. Yeah. We are a very small group of people. A lot of the people are Advaita Vada people. A lot of the people are people who are materialistic worshippers. So it's not always true that lots of people take. Only in Kali Yuga, as time goes, they will take over a period of time. So there's always situations like that. No, they screwed it up. It's again reception, I told you. Philosophy seems to be lost means you guys spoiled it. Sakala neha nashta parandapa. You lost it. I gave it to you. You guys lost it, spoiled it. He did not say that somebody came and stole it or something like that. He said that you lost it. So I'm giving it to you again. Any other question or comment? Om Tat Sat, Srila Prabhupada ki, Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki.